You're watching Metropole Television. This is Business AM. Thank you very much for taking your time to start your Monday with us. Hashtag is Business AM at Metropole TVKE across all your social media platforms. I am Charles Arasko Kiage. Keep on the messages coming in 2146. Let's move on to the next issue that we're talking about this morning. Now, since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in Kenya, digital payments have been promoted as the safer means of conveying cash, with physical contact being discouraged. Now, beyond keeping coronavirus at bay, what are the long-term benefits of taking digital payments route, and what can businesses do to ride the digital payments wave? Now, to discuss this and further questions, I am joined by Evans Okech, the Digital Innovation Director and co-founder of Kibo Capital Group. Evans, before we delve further into the benefits of going the digital payments way, let us know more about Kibo Capital Group.
Well, thank you very much, Siva, for having me on your show to talk about the company I value the most. Kibo Capital Group is a financial technology startup founded on the urgent need to help businesses cut costs and save the environment. So we help businesses cut costs by removing the paperwork in sales, reconciliation, and recepting. We work more with small, medium enterprises by providing various offerings such as the e-receipting solution, trainings for entrepreneurs and corporates, capital injection, and generally also empowering women and youth.
Pretty much, Mr. Kibo. So let's just also know what services that Kibo Capital Group offers directly to your clients.
We offer training for corporate and upcoming entrepreneurs where we give them mentorship. We also support small and medium enterprises through financing and capital injection. Okay, we also do women and youth empowerment where we train youth and women on business planning and profit utilization. We also have the e-receipting solution where we help businesses cut costs and save the environment, whereby actually we do provide them with a digital clerk, which it's very easy. It saves time and also saves the environment instead of using physical paper receipts.
Pretty much. Now, somebody listening to you this morning will be like, well, what is Kibo's target market? Who specifically are you going for in your market?
Oh, thank you very much. That's a very good question. So our target market is wide. We have the SMEs, banks, and telcos. And we are partnered with some of these, such as the Sender Corporation and Pay Connect, which offer simple solutions to buying airtime for any network in Kenya. So we remove the paper scratch cards. And this is through M-Pesa. So we are also partnered with the insurance firm MyCredit, which offers cutting-edge services in insurance. We have also partnered with KPLC, a few Circle, and microfinance.
All right, Evans, let's therefore delve into digital payments this morning. Have you noted any response during the COVID-19 pandemic? And how would you talk about it now, as most businesses and people are getting told, well, you got to go the e-way just to run away from the potential chances of you getting infected by COVID-19 during your transactions?
Yeah, so our offering is also on digital payments, where we offer companies, our partner firms, when someone comes to them to buy good or service and pay through the mobile, through M-Pesa or through Visa card or just a card or credit card, they receive, when they pay for the good or services, they receive a text on their mobile phone immediately, where in that text there's a link, and in the link, when you click it, it reveals a receipt, which is not just a receipt. This receipt has an advertising function and also has a feedback mechanism. So we remove the handling of physical paper, which is potentially contaminated with these germs in the COVID-19 pandemic era. So also this also removes the cash because you are paying through a credit card, a debit card, or M-Pesa till or M-Pesa pay bill. So we remove this, and for the customer and the company, so we are protecting them from. They are potentially protected from the contaminated papers or cash.
Yes. So is there any trend that you would like to share with me this morning on how the uptake has been, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, it's true that since the Central Bank of Kenya reduced the transaction fees for saying that they waived the transaction fees for the 1,000 shillings and below transactions on M-Pesa. Also, we've had people coming on board. So because it's not just only that we are saving them from COVID-19 by removing them from handling potentially contaminated papers or cash, but you should also look at the cutting cost of that we are saving them from physical paper receipts, which require space because we require a file, a cabinet system, and a room for these receipts to be kept. So e-receipts only require the internet connection and cloud-based services. So because time is money, and as such, we're giving a digital clerk, at the end of the day, the company saves money by just running by a click of a button. They just run the cells and they can see everything instead of touching receipts and writing down and then calculating physically. So Kibo Capital makes it easier for a firm to quickly do this, and sometimes with the leaner staff, saving money and time.
Interesting, because we're talking about e-recepting, which I would like to think is a new concept in the market. Do you think that the COVID-19 pandemic is the one that is making it active right now, or this is the start of this shift that we're talking about this morning?
I think it's the start of this shift because in the past we've had companies that actually got on this idea. They saw that they will save costs by automating systems. I can give an example maybe out of this, but the Kenya Revenue Authority, when it actually went for iTax, the online tax filing system in 2015, they found that they saved a lot of money and time in reconciling the tax returns. According to the Communication Authority of Kenya, in around 2008, there are around nearly 100 million letters being sent in Kenya. But as things went digital and the company realized that they are saving money, as of 2018, this was reduced to around 30. The last quarter of 2018, it was around average of 8.2 million letters being sent. Imagine from nearly 100 million to 8.2 million. So it's about cost cutting and saving the environment, which is actually urgent.
Pretty much. Now, Evans, you and I do know how the business culture in the country is. When you have a new concept, I don't know who the adopters are. Would you say that the smaller businesses, which have always been blamed for not adopting technology and digitizing their processes, would you say that they are recognizing the importance of this? And are you trying to teach first, fight this culture that exists before onboarding some of these businesses that we're talking about?
Yeah, I think small businesses are the best when we come to talk to them about this innovation because the decision making is so easy. But we don't say that we have not gotten the big companies too on board because we have around over 1,000 border borders, over 2,000 border borders, around over 180 SMEs, and 10 big companies which are partnered with us. So it's something that is taking root in Kenya because Kenya is a country where M-Pesa, which has been very innovative and it has gone worldwide. So this technology revolution that the use of paper is declining globally. Yeah, I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, you have. So I just want to get back to that question as well. I mean, yes, you have 180 SMEs, you have 10 bigger companies. When you look at the ease at which these 10 bigger companies adopted your system, the e-recepting, versus the 180 SMEs, would you rate and say that the bigger companies adopting it easier than the smaller companies?
Of course, again, it goes back to the money, but we make it easy for any company to adopt it, for it be it big or small. But as I have said, it's easier for a smaller one to adopt because of there's no much bureaucracy in the decision making. But we've not seen any challenges in that bigger companies or smaller companies in the period or the manner in which they are adopting. Both are adopting at their pace.
Yes, Evans, let me take you back to now somebody listening to you this morning, a smaller business, and asking, well, I want to be among the 180 plus that already own a system. But can you break down exactly how e-recepting is going to cut down the cost for this specific business or person?
Okay, some say that you see, paperwork requires a lot of handling by the employees, and also it has a time factor in that when you have paper receipts, you have to take one by one and log them in a book and then calculate it. But when you do it through Kibo Capital, the e-receipting service, it's just something that you can click at on the button at the end of the day, and you see all your sales, and you can calculate easily on Excel. Because we give you a portal where you can log in, and you can download your Excel file at the end of the day and see all your sales. So it cuts costs in terms of leaner staff, and then saving time, and then saving space. Because as I've said earlier, fiscal receipts require files and cabinets and rooms. And sometimes you find that something is lost somewhere. So you waste time looking for a certain receipt or a certain sales that you've made. Also, on the client part, it saves time and also it's convenient for them that if something is wrong with the product or service they bought, they can just come back to the company and the company log on the system and see the receipt. Instead of this other one that when you take a physical paper receipt, potentially contaminated with COVID-19, it fades. They usually fade. So when you want to return something or you want to complain about a service or a good, you can't find it anywhere. But for this one, it's very convenient and time saving, and potentially now it saves costs for the company.
Pretty much. All right. Now let's talk about some of the challenges now for Mr. Okej that you have faced as a Kibo Group in trying to peg yourself under these digital payment systems. And I want to get your answer from this perspective. Yes, there was this big announcement from the Central Bank of Kenya telling people, well, you have to go digital. But would have you wished that would have done something further around that announcement to make it easier for companies like Kibo to come in and peg on these digital receipt systems?
Well, the central bank did what it did, and it's a good thing. For us, the challenges that we have had are not so much, not face some bigger challenges. But what I can say in the Kenyan space about the need to educate people. People need to be educated more to embrace environmental friendly technologies, and this requires time. So maybe that's a challenge, but it's a positive challenge because of course Kenyans are already used to M-Pesa. Nonetheless, in the larger sense of things, in the larger scheme of things in Kenya, so Kenyan innovators suffer from intellectual property thefts, especially if they are just coming up. So that's another challenge. But we've managed to surmount this, and we see our future as very bright.
Yes, just talk to me on that. I'm sorry to take you back on that. Yes, there are a couple of challenges that you faced. What has been your approach in the market, Mr. Okej?
So our approach in partnering with farms is that we have salespeople go out and speak to selected farms which we've identified, and we've seen that they can save costs on their sales. And so these are so much for the banks and the SACCOs and microfinance. So we approach them and then we do a presentation, and then when they come on board, we give them this portal, and I think the feedback has been good from the clients.
Yes.
From what we've received back.
All right, now, so talk to me therefore from where you're sitting this morning on what you think the future of digital payments locally and globally. What do you rate our adoption of digital payments, and what do you also see the future going?
So when people have been educated on environmental friendly ways of doing things, they know that they are saving the planet, because according to the Worldwide Fund for Environment, it estimates that 10 to 30% of reduction in paper usage is possible simply through the use of available technology. We provide this technology to Kenyan companies at it's readily available. There's a infrastructure already there. Because if people don't take care of the environment, in the next maybe 100 years, we'll not be having this earth. It will be hard to breathe. So this is according to the Environment Network Organization. But as Kibo, we know that Kenyans are people who understand and they love technology, and that's where we come and offer our services.
All right, I love how you always peg it on the environment. I would have really wanted to ask you, what do you think environmental goals are in Kenya and whether we are actually going to achieve that. But talk to me therefore about Kibo Group. Yes, where do you also see yourself in the economy in the next couple of years as pertains the e-recepting?
Yeah, the future is very bright for Kibo Capital Group. So because more companies are seeing the need to go green to protect the environment, many more companies are realizing that digital payments is the way to go. Others have showcased, because they've seen from others that it has showcased savings of costs. So even as government of Kenya embraces digital technology, we look forward to grow big in this space. And I know it's something that is growing, and we are actually right at the center of it.
Mr. Evans Okech, co-founder Kibo Capital Group, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Right, we take a short break here on Business, and once we come back, we do have for you the economic review. What are the top headlines that you're waking up to this morning? Turns out that now KPLC is going to charge you more for something that they call technical loss. What is that? Sorry, it's called the system loss. What is that? And are you happy about it? And the other question is, well, the county revenue allocation formula, are we finally going to get something out of it? As the 12-member Senate committee met last week Friday behind closed doors with the County Revenue Allocation Commission and also Treasury to beat or to panel beat the formula that has been a stalemate at the Senate House. Economic review coming shortly after this break.